Today I want to talk about 3 ways to stay motivated while paying off your debt. So stay tuned. My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector, a subsidiary of Clear and Strategic. Now, I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. I've done it all, from management to owning 2 debt collection agencies. For the past 10 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions regarding debt and credit, and now I want to be that person for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. For those of you who are new to this channel, be sure to like and subscribe. Let's go. Paying off your debt can be very, very difficult, right? You got to have a plan, you got to be motivated, and you have to have discipline in order to do so. I want to talk about 3 ways to stay motivated while paying off your debt. And let's start off with point number 1. Create SMART goals. When I say that, SMART is an acronym. It stands for, the S stands for specifically state exactly what it is that you want to do. The M stands for something measurable. Use small mini goals to measure the progress. The C stands for achievable. This is a key one. Make goals that are reasonable, right? That's a problem that I used to have early on in life. I used to make these goals that were grand, and then obviously when I thought about it, what ended up happening was because they were so grand and it was hard to achieve at the time, I ended up giving up on the goal. So you want to make sure that they're measurable. Use small mini goals to measure the progress. It's almost like with me with working out when I was running. As a kid, I hated running. I was a sprinter. I never liked long distance running. I never had any reason to actually do any long distance running. But as we all know, as you age, about the time I turned 34 years old, my metabolism slowed down. And what ended up happening is I stopped playing sports as much as I was playing before. And so what happened? I ballooned to 240 pounds. I knew that I had to do something about losing the weight. And one of the things that I was going to have to do outside of obviously my diet was running. I hate long distance running, but I started out running only half a mile, and then eventually I increased that to a mile, to a mile and a half, to 2 miles, to 3 miles. Okay, and then the 4th thing is you have to be, the R in SMART stands for realistic. You have to be realistic about your goals. Set goals that are relevant to your life and what's going on, right? You can't say that you want to make $1 million tomorrow if you're in a bunch of debt today, right? The reality is you have to be a little more realistic with regards to your goals. Obviously, if you're in a bunch of debt, you want to make realistic goals in that aspect. So start off paying 1 credit card or whatever the circumstance is, but make sure that they're realistic. And then lastly, the T stands for timely. Give yourself time to make your goals. Very important to do so. Don't narrow your time and don't make it so long that it's not attainable, but you got to give yourself time in order to make it. And with those times, you have to set a deadline. It's very key to do so. So the first step is create SMART goals. The second step that I would recommend you to do to stay motivated while paying off your debt is get tech involved. When I was running, I'm going to use that as an analogy just because I started off using this as an analogy. One of the things that I did was on your iPhone, absolutely for free, you can track what your progress is, right? So when I ran a half a mile, it started out where I was running it almost in like 8 minutes because I was overweight and it was hard to do so. And as time progressed, I tracked my situation and I got it down to where I'm doing, 10-minute miles. Half a mile at 5 minutes. And so you can see that. And with technology that we have today, with regards to paying off your debt, there are all sorts of things that you can do with regards to paying off your debt. You can do the avalanche approach and so forth, but use technology to track your progress so that way you can see in real time what is happening and what transpires as you are paying off your debt. And then the third and final thing I would say to do to stay motivated with regards to paying your debt is to visualize your debt-free life. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. You have to visualize it. I have a video that I have with affirmations for great credit. I will put down in the description. It's a 5-minute video with regards to affirmations. I recommend you listen to it with headphones, but while you're listening to these affirmations go into your mind for great credit, you have to be able to visualize that you can be there, right? Without that thought process, how are you going to ever get there, right? And so a lot of times we as human beings, a lot of times we set these unrealistic goals, or we set these goals, or we say we want to do something, but we do not ultimately have a plan. It's very key that you have a plan with regards to what it is that you're doing, so that way you can accomplish your goals. And in this case, keeping you motivated to pay your debt. Now, if you have any questions about credit or debt, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. And as I always state, you be great.